Hey guys, John V here from PhoneArena. Right now you're watching our video review of the Moga Pro. It's available right now. You can pick it up for $50, so it's pretty inexpensive. And the coolest part about it is that you're going to get that home console experience on the go. It's compatible right now with Android devices, smartphones, and tablets. So we're going to see how it stacks up. If you happen to own any of the home consoles out there, the Moga Pro's design should be very familiar. It combines the PlayStation 3 style and with the Xbox 360 controller layout, and you get this nice mesh with it. For starters, it's constructed of plastic all around, which gives it a very lightweight feel in the hand. We're a little bit skeptical because it kind of felt a little bit hollow, but it is extremely durable and solidly built all around, so we commend Moga for that. The control layout, as we said, similar to the Xbox 360 controller. So everything's within grasp and it's easy to hold, very ergonomic, so our hand just wraps around it. And we also appreciate some of the other subtle things they put on. For example, the rubbery surface right here towards the bottom gives you a good grip in the hand. And overall though, we gotta say this is by far the best looking gamepad for mobile so far. So let's now take a look at the buttons on the Moga Pro. For starters, it wields two analog sticks on the front in similar fashion to the Xbox 360 controller. They're a little bit offset, so you have one here to the left and another to the right. Very responsive. When you let go, they spring back to their normal positions. Good rubbery feel on them both, and you can press them down to have some additional buttons. With the directional pad, it is extremely raised, so very distinctive to the touch, and has a good amount of feel to it in travel. At first, it might seem a little bit stiff, but after some gameplay, we kind of got adjusted to it. On the right side, you have your action buttons indicated by the X, Y, A, B buttons right here. Just like the directional pad, good amount of travel. They're raised, distinctive, large size, and they have some back illumination too if you want to. So in the dark, you could see them. You just got to activate that by pressing the button in the back. And rounding things out in the front, you also have the select start button, an LED light here to indicate it's connected, paired up, and of course the Moga pivot application button right there. Around its shoulders, we find some additional buttons. To round out its control layout, we have shoulder buttons right here, both sides, and also some analog triggers, which is great for racing games, and of course first-person shooters. And smack right in the middle is the micro USB port to charge its internal battery. Adding yet more worth to its feature set, the Moga Pro is very unique just because it has this adjustable Moga arm which is hidden in the center compartment here, and basically it can expand and adjust to accommodate a wide array of smartphones. Now we have a Samsung Galaxy S3 here, easily accommodate that, but it's mentioned that it'll actually hold even devices as large as the Galaxy Note 2, so a device with that size display, it's going to be able to handle it, and it's great just because you're able to see the game, the display right in front as you're playing the game itself, and it's just really nice. Even though there isn't much flexibility in actual adjusting the angle, it's just ideal just because you don't have to worry about fiddling around putting the smartphone elsewhere. But if you do, it also comes included with the nifty stand here. So the stand actually will accommodate larger devices like a tablet, so 10-inch tablets, which is great, so you can have a hands-free experience and you're still able to use the Moga Pro with it. As it stands right now, the Moga Pro is only supported by Android devices, so smartphones and tablets. Unfortunately, no word yet whether or not we'll see support for iOS, Windows Phone, or even BlackBerry, but hopefully down the road they kind of do that just to broaden its worth. So this is the Moga Pivot application for Android, and basically it's the centralized hub which aggregates all the content that, all the gaming content that is compatible to work with the Moga Pro. They've been optimized, so instead of using the on-screen touch controls, you could rely on the gamepad itself. So right now I'm going to demo some of the titles that are optimized to work with the Moga Pro. We'll start off with some of the older classic titles. For example here, Pac-Man. Very simple, easy, and of course the Moga Pro, it's great just because you can use the analog stick. It kind of acts as the usual joystick you find with the regular classic arcade game. And it works pretty well. Pretty simple, nothing much to it. Just move around, and that's pretty much it there. Now here's another classic game, R-Type, if you haven't played it, space shooter game, and of course you could use the analog stick to actually maneuver the ship here, and it works fairly well. Again, nothing too much with the control scheme, pretty basic as it goes, just being able to actually maneuver the ship and of course dodge the enemies, and it's just nice just because you have an uncluttered look of the interface itself. And finally, we have here yet another 2D classic title in another world, and I prefer using the directional pad as opposed to the analog stick to actually move around the character. It just seems more appropriate. And again, it just reminds us of that old school type gameplay that we're familiar using when we first, when I first encountered this game a long time ago. However, the Moga Pro's usefulness is shown absolutely with more modern titles. For example, we have Nova 3 here, and it's just great because unlike before, we relied on touch controls. We were basically covering up our field of view, but with this, we have the entire interface, available to us. And of course, with the dual analog sticks, it's just great just because we're able to maneuver around our character with ease, and it's just more ideal and very similar to what we find with a traditional home console. So just like the other first-person shooter, Dead Trigger also benefits with the Moga Pro controller just because we're able to actually use one button to move around and the other to actually rotate. And with the shoulder triggers, the analog shoulder buttons, it's great because you could use that to actually shoot, the zombies coming at you. And just again, it shows that we just have a clear view of whatever's on screen, so we don't have to be hassled by fiddling around, trying to see what's around the corner just because our fingers are taking up space on the screen. Mobile gamers on the road won't have to worry about battery life with the Moga Pro just because we easily got over 10 hours of usage from a single charge, which is great. So you have plenty of time to actually use the game without having to worry about the battery going. Seriously, folks, for $50, this is an absolute buy for any hardcore gamer out there, especially if you own a tablet or smartphone, just because it's the ideal companion for you. You get that home console feel and experience thanks to the awesome design ergonomics of the Moga Pro. You have the arsenal of buttons that we're accustomed to using on any other console. And it's great that you also have the arm here to place your smartphone in your device so you could actually play on the go. If not, you could use the stand that comes included with it. So you have the best of both worlds. You have a fantastic layout, great design, good build quality, very useful for gaming on the go. So you really can't miss with the Moga Pro. So if you want to learn more about this, guys, you can check out our website, PhoneArena.com. This is John V. Thanks for watching.